The moment you realize that resistance is just built-in navigation system, everything begins to change. Your need to control the outcomes becomes less and less obvious, and you become aware that everything is always working out for you. So the older I get, the more I have real examples and life proofs for this. Let's say one of the facts is one of my close friends had bad divorce a long time ago, and she was convinced that she will never trust again or be able to allow anyone to come close to her. But now she has wonderful men in her life, and that's the proof that even not to mention how painful and how she suffered through her divorce, just because she had zero knowledge and awareness that that was for her highest good. And if there weren't that divorce, she wouldn't now living her fairy tale. Everything, even and especially when it seems that it's falling apart, is actually working out for me and you, for everybody. Uh, Resistance is a result of forcing outcomes. Resistance is a result of our core belief to and need to control. But as soon as you are in a place of needing to control things, everything is hard. That need for control comes from fear and from false belief that if you are not controlling people, situations, circumstances, and events, something will go wrong. When in life it's actually opposite. As soon as you put your fingers into it, you are making a mess. But when you have fearless faith, non-resistance, and love, that's where life works its miracles through you. Everything is always working out for us. So let's say my goal is to, and always was, to 90% of my time I live freedom and do what I love. So that's what I'm working on. And many times nowadays that's small percentage, almost zero. But when I first affirmed that as long as I'm here on this journey, I will live my life according to my rules. I will live my life 90% of my time doing what I love. Resistance was huge because with my limited beliefs back then, I thought that that's BS and that's impossible. With every day, I'm more and more certain, and I literally know that my soul's purpose and passion is exactly that, to be example for those who are at the beginning, that not just that it's possible, but that it is your duty and your obligation to never uh, betray your heart's desires. A life of suffering is reality for those who betrayed their heart's desires. As I always repeat, and I will always repeat, your desires are your destiny. You are the only one who has all the equipment to fulfill those desires, no matter how big or impossible at the beginning they seem to you. I remember uh, when I was growing up and all these games and social media and internet was just at the beginning, and many parents had trouble with children who were spending too much time playing games and so on and so forth. I understood that parents were concerned about the eyesight and too much time spent indoors, not being active and playing outside. But even that was wrong assumption, because we witness now and long time present fact is that many kids became literally wealthy beyond even what's possible to imagine just by playing games. So time is different, circumstances are changing literally with the speed of light, and never with your narrow awareness and with your limited beliefs be so sure about what's possible or isn't possible for you or for anybody else. If you have little children, the best thing you can do is to pray or affirm that they have easy life, in a sense that they will be instrument for the spirit to work through them. Those people have most fulfilled lives who figured this fact and who moved out of their way and allow literally God, infinite intelligence and spirit to express through them, because they are just a vehicle. Many people who I follow and I respect because they are proof of this fact in work are so powerful, exactly as a result of being completely open and in a state of non-resistance, and they are allowing the spirit to work through them, even if in the moment when they are channeling it, to them that seems like something that's maybe not impossible but too big, let's say. Nothing is too big. We were just, when we were children, programmed to have scarcity mindset, so to say, as a result of, God knows, guilt, shame. At the core of most of human is guilt, shame, scarcity mindset, lack, all kinds of fears, abandonment issues, betrayal issues, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough. So, as I said, core beliefs are something that needs more attention and a while to be rewired. That's why it's called core beliefs. It's rooted deep in our psyche and in our subconscious. So let's say if I think that I'm not worthy of great life, and that's my core belief, I will spend the rest of my life living that belief, core belief, and everything from my external world will be proof of that deep-rooted thing in my psyche that I'm not worthy. I could remain stuck in this old identity, and I think that I wouldn't even never till the rest of my life become aware of my old identity if it weren't too near that experiences, if there weren't my disease, if there weren't many challenging and hard things that I had to overcome just on my own, with the help of my parents and with the fearless faith in God. If I didn't go through all those challenges, I would live in my old previous identity, and I would think that that's just how things are. As Jung said, until you make unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it destiny. So that's me. That's my old story. But because I had to learn, I have more than 10,000 hours now in learning how the mind works, and I have experience in real life. I pretty much now know how things work, and I know how challenging it can be to rewire those core negative beliefs. So you have two states of being. Primal state of being, where all resistance is, where struggle is, where you have desire and immediately resistance comes up with billions reasons why that's impossible for you, and you are blocked, you are shut. And you have from the other side people who are living in a state of power 24/7, 7 days a week, as long as they're alive. How, why, what separates second group from first group? They simply live with that knowing in their heart that all they ever needed was, is, and will ever be fearless faith, non-resistance, and love. So if you feel now that you are maybe behind in your goals, if you are witnessing people buying homes, living huge success in their careers, getting married, having babies, traveling around the world, you will know that you shifted from first to second group when you are able to truly, from the bottom of your heart, celebrate their accomplishments. So the faster way for you to live, if you feel that you are behind, whatever it is that your desires are, is to celebrate other people's achievements and success. I always had that inside me, and for it I'm very grateful, because all my life there were maybe when I was really young, when I was, I don't know, 17, 18, when there were glimpses of jealousy, But even then, I was aware that that's not pleasant feeling. It's causing inside of me tension. I immediately um, become and start sweating. My heart's beating faster. So I realized back in the day, very, very, very early when I was really young, that jealousy isn't pleasant feeling for me. So I worked and did the work to let that behind. And I'm really grateful that I always celebrate other people's success. Most of my friends are travelers. They are all the time here and there. Uh, I never was jealous. I really enjoy and I celebrate when they send me their pictures, and I enjoy when they're happy. And I wish them more and more of that. We're all different, and that's why I'm saying if something in your life is delayed, whatever it is, and you might feel like you're behind, that just means that your blessings are beyond your wildest dreams, and that you now with your narrow focus can't even comprehend how great things for you are unfolding even now behind the scenes, but you are simply still lacking complete trust. It's like a pregnancy of an elephant. For a baby elephant to come into this world, mama elephant has to wait 2 years. Does that mean that mama elephant is less worthy than, let's say, woman? No, that just means that baby elephant is even bigger and more complicated being, and it needs uh, time. Everything in life needs time. Whatever your challenge is, you are not punished, you are not cursed, you are not forgotten by God or people, you are not unworthy. It just means that you've been prepared for what's meant for you. And your story is unique and special, as well as every person's story is. We all come here in this life with same equipment, but the question and what separates us is just the mindset. The mindset, because everything is mind, is what separates the best from the rest. Inner game, inner game, inner game. That's like all the people who are saying, let's say, until you buy a specific car, you weren't even noticing those cars. But as soon as you buy a car, you start noticing the same model, the same color almost everywhere. I think that that's called air AS, reticular activating system, where we have some part in our brain which is literally only focused, like targeting on what more and more you notice. Inner game is what you should aim, but what's the irony of the existence is that most people are running from the inner game and from the inner world. People will do anything and everything just to run away from themselves. I can understand even that, because at the beginning it's very painful to go deep down inside and to It feels like you're going down in some filthy basement which nobody cleaned for 20 years, let's say. And that's why it feels unpleasant. There's a lot of mess, there's a lot of garbage, and that's why people are doing the shorter route and are more willing to engage in any escapism rather than to be brave and to face their own self. But if you are brave and you decide, you know what, at the beginning it feels like I must conquer and tame the wild beast, because at the beginning it literally feels like that. I know when I was on the beginning of this inner work and discovery, everything else was more satisfying than to sit and to say, you know what, this previous story isn't working anymore, we must make some changes. No one is guilty. My previous relationships, my parents, my government, environment, neighbors, this, that, whether, nothing is responsible. I must take full responsibility for my mistakes and to let's see and let's explore what caused results with which I wasn't satisfied at all. So at first it was really, really unpleasant. It felt like I wanted to tame the wildest beast that ever lived, because my old identity was so strong that it was ready to go so far to even give up on life twice rather than to let go of all old core limited and negative beliefs. So imagine how powerful that is. Literally, my old identity was more eager and prepared to let go of my own life than to accept new identity. That's how powerful and strong that is. So I know how challenging it can be, but with everything in life, give yourself a time, literally go day by day. Don't push, don't force. Pushing and forcing will only cause more resistance, but you will begin to notice shifts little by little. One of the first proofs that you are making shift is when you notice that the things that used to piss you off no longer piss you off. You are waiting somewhere. The line in the grocery store in front of you takes forever to move. You are in a traffic. Some annoying people from your life come up again and again with the same BS, but you're literally untouched, unbothered. That's when you will know when the improvement began. You owe that to yourself, because I said your diet and taking care of what you are eating is nothing if you are not taking care about your mental diet and about what and how often during the day you are angry. I now also know that what could cost me life twice was also my anger issue, because I had literally, I was like a bomb. In a second, in a split of second, I became so angry that I wonder now how I didn't make some serious trouble. How dangerous anger is I will tell you, recently one person who was extremely successful from my country died from some disease, because no matter, he had healthy lifestyle, meaning he wasn't drinking, never in his life, he wasn't smoking, he was very uh, disciplined, but his friends are now saying that he had short temper, that he was often during the day very, 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 very angry, that he was control freak, and so on and so forth. So when you live that kind of life and you're constantly stressed, you're fucked up. So never allow yourself to be pissed off by people whose only goal is to piss you off. As long as anyone has the power to make you angry, to make you mad or pissed off, that just means that they have control over you. But when you reclaim your power and you become, no matter what's going on around, connected to the source, you literally can't even believe, and you start to questioning how on the hell on earth was even possible for me to allow to be moved by other people's behaviors. That's so painful in many ways. So all feelings of resistance, so no matter what it is, whether it's jealousy, anger, whether it is, I don't know, lack of motivation, um, everything that is on a low vibrational scale of emotions just means that you lost your connection with the source. Whenever you're connected to God, to source, to infinite intelligence, you are light. That's also how tip how to make decisions in your life. Whenever you are faced with making decisions, ask yourself whether this gives me a light feeling, or it makes me, you know how it is. If it feels light, if it motivates you, take that route. If at the beginning, when you think about the decision, you have unpleasant feeling inside, that means that that's not for you. Most of the challenges that people are facing is caused by them being 100% sure that they know what's the best for them. I was guilty of this, because many times in my life when I was removed from place, situation, when I lost relationship, when I faced outcome different than I wanted, I literally cursed everything. And I wondered why that's not happening. I want that, I want that. After a while, I would witness that that was the best possible thing that could happen for me. Because let's say you want a specific person, but higher power and God knows that that person isn't person with whom you will have the healthiest children. So do you want the partner with whom you will have the healthy children who will have long life, and simply who are through the God's grace and God's divine design for you, or you want to insist for that one with whom you would, let's say, have children who are having all kinds of health issues or whatever it is. So you never know why someone or something is removed from your life. Same with careers. Let's say you had some job that you loved, and through some events and circumstances you lost that job, and now you find yourself angry and depressed and wondering why this is happening for me. I wanted that, I love that, it's not fair, whatever it is. Just to realize that that wasn't your soul's purpose at all, and that, let's say, something else with less effort and with your ability to enjoy 90% of your time by doing what you love will bring you much more things from material world. And that's how always work. God is never taking away something from us before something much better is prepared to become the part of our life. Never. So far I am proof, and I know that whenever something was gone or removed from my life, in less than a month I witnessed change and literally being brought back to me 1,000 times better than what was taken away. So affirm, whatever it is, when something is lost, always have in the back of your mind awareness that something much better is on its way to you, because it always is. I affirm, and I'm telling you, and I know that God is never taking away from your life something before something much better is on its way.